Hi, everybody. Welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, hi, I'm Rhoda. Today I thought I'd sit down and do a little date night makeup, a little bit of inspiration. Valentine's Day is coming up, regardless of my thoughts on that holiday. But I've gathered a little bit of makeup here in front of me. So let's get started because I look like death because I got exactly 0 seconds of sleep last night. Not exactly sure what I want to do with the eyes, but we'll figure it out as we go. I'm going to start with my Tom Ford Soft Matte Primer. I did a date night Valentine's Day kind of inspired video a year ago. So I don't know if I want to repeat my thoughts on Valentine's Day. Maybe I should. They are unpopular opinions, but I think valid ones. When I'm on a date and in a softly lit restaurant or bar, I always love a little bit of glow. So I thought I would pull out my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter. I use the shade 4 and I apply it kind of all over, but mostly I focus on the high points of my cheeks, anywhere I want a little bit of extra glow. A little bit there, a little bit there. And I just use my fingers to get that in there. I would put clips in my hair, but they leave marks. So if anybody knows of any really good clips that don't do that to very, very fine hair, please let me know, please. I'm going to use the Very Valentino foundation today in the shade LN4. BK Beauty 101 brush. And let's get a base going. So my husband's home for a couple of weeks because the job site he was working on is done. So he's just waiting for the next job to start up. And as lovely as it is having him at home, he's driving me a little bit bananas. So I sent him on like 1,000 errands to help me out around the house. And he ends up calling me 17 times to ask me if he's buying the right thing. I have my flow at home, okay? I have my schedule, I have my agenda. I know what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis with nobody around while the kids are at school. And when I have another person here, it kind of throws everything off. Don't get me wrong, I'm really happy to get to spend some extra time. But it's kind of like throwing me off. Let's get some color on the face. I'm going to use the new Rare Beauty contour, but this shade Mellow is not too contoury. It's a little bit bronzy. A dot a little bit here and here, a little bit right here. BK Beauty 109, and I'm just going to start buffing this out. So my thoughts on Valentine's Day, if anyone cares to know, just in case you missed that video, chances are high. The first thing that I'm not crazy about Valentine's Day or any other holiday that does not provide me with a day off. If I do not get a day off from said holiday, you can keep it. You can keep it because you know what it does? It just adds more work to my list of things to do. If I have things to do for a certain holiday, yet I get a day off from it, then I don't really mind. To me, it just becomes extra work. Well, you might ask, but Rhoda, it's such a nice holiday. It's so sweet. It's all about love. It's about love. Honestly, I don't care. I know that sounds terrible. I'm going to take my dual-ended Patrick top brush and just kind of take a little bit off of here. I know that doesn't sound very nice, but honestly, I can have love on any other day of the year. Every other day of the year. I'm not explaining this as eloquently, I think, as I did in that video from last year. But you know what? I'm just going to cut to the chase and I just think it's a waste of a day. Get a little under the lips, contour there a little. Kosas new color corrector in Illusion. Anyway, so yeah, that's how I feel about that. The next thing is I feel like it's a little bit forced. And by that, I mean, because it's Valentine's Day, you're going to get flowers. Because it's Valentine's Day, you're going to get chocolates or a gift or whatever the case may be. I would rather my husband or my significant other or whoever it is to buy me something on a random day. I want Valentine's Day to be any day you pick, any other day than February 14th. You know why? Because that means you did it because you wanted to do it. You wanted to do it. You wanted to make my day special, not because it was Valentine's Day, but because it was any day and you wanted to. A token of appreciation and love because you wanted to, not because you had to. And that means so much more to me personally. I have forbidden my husband from buying anything for me on Valentine's Day because it's Valentine's Day. Oh, FENTY concealer in 225N. Am I making sense here? Does anybody else feel the same way as I do? I know it's supposed to be, a day to show love, but why do we need a day to show love? I want a little more bronzer, so I'm going to use the RMS Hydra bronzer in Tan Lines. Get a little more bronzed up in here. Anyway, that's how I feel about Valentine's Day. And I'm just going to add a little bit here to, not the temples, but just a little bit on the sides of my eyes. Before I get to my eyes, I do want to just do some blush. This is the YSL Liquid Blush in 44 Nude Lavalier. And I'm going to take this IT Cosmetics number 3 brush to apply it. If I forget to mention a product, if I forget to mention a brush, everything will be listed and linked in the description box. I'm telling stories here. Sometimes as I'm doing this and actually talking about other things, I completely forget. So if I do, they'll be there. So tomorrow I am going for my yearly face tweak. Just get this on here. Such a pretty blush. This looks maybe a little bit too much, but everything will get toned down once we're done everything. I'm going to bring this a little bit higher and it will all come together when all is said and done. I refuse to say trust the process, so that's my way of saying that, even though I just kind of said it, but you know what I mean. I'm going to quickly powder my eyelids just because I want to dive into the eyeshadow now. I'm going to use the NATASHA DENONA I Need a Nude palette for this look. I'm going to start with this shade called Mesh, and I have a Refer 03 Show Dough brush. And I am going to just get this all over the crease. I am going for my annual face tweak, I like to call it. And by face tweak, I mean I go once a year around January or February, and I get a little bit of filler right here just to lift my face a little bit, and a little bit of plumping of the lips. Nothing ducky, nothing ducky. Refer Show 02, and I'm going to go into the shade next to it called Tender. And this is a very, very, very thin, beautiful brush that I use to just deepen the outer corner. Anyway, what was I saying? The first time I ever got filler done was January of 2020. I was 46, turning 47. My birthday's in May, and I was pooping my pants, but I knew I needed something because my face was falling. It was falling. My biggest problem area was like around my mouth. And then when I went for my consultation, they said, if you put filler here, it'll just drag everything down. If you put a little bit of filler up here, just a little bit, it lifts the whole face. I thought about it. I thought about it. I thought about it some more. And I decided to go for it. Now, did I mention it was 2020? So I did all of that. And then we were in our homes. We were wearing masks. We had homeschool. We had it all. And I thought, oh, great. Of course. Of course. It was such a subtle difference, but it made a world of difference for me. And I loved it. Now I'm going to go into this center shade called Muse with my pinky. And I'm going to tap it in the center. I am an open book on here. I don't feel like I need to hide that I get anything done, whether it's filler, whether it's hair extensions, whatever the case may be. And I don't feel like anyone should feel like they have to hide something like that. It's probably fear of judgment. Obviously, that's where that would come from, I would imagine. I don't know why that would be. I mean, whatever makes you feel good, whatever makes you feel good, I'm all for it. And I would never judge anybody for doing something or not doing something. Refer 02, and I'm going to go into the shade called Mia. Fillers and Botox and things like that are not for everybody, but it works for me and I love it. Like I said, I did it, 5 years ago, and I haven't stopped because I do notice a difference. I do it once a year. I don't overdo it. My girl knows I just want subtle, subtle tweaks, and it works for me. It makes me feel better. It doesn't take very long for everything to settle down, maybe just a couple of days, but you'll probably notice that I look a little bit different for the first week or so, and that will be the reason why. I'm gonna line my lashes with a shade called Silhouette. Just get a little more definition on the eyes. I'm gonna bring it out just a little bit. Just I want a little baby wing, as I have really been doing lately. I have only been doing little baby wings. I think it's enough for me. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I love doing this. I take my Anastasia Beverly Hills Pro Pencil in Base 1. It's so creamy, so beautiful. This is getting a little bit old and still glides, but I use this to kind of clean up under my brows, and you don't even really need to blend it out. It just kind of adds that little bit of highlight under the brow, makes everything look nice and crisp and clean. I'm going to line the bottom lash line with the first shade we used as a transition shade, just to add a little slight shadow on my lower lash line. I totally forgot to mention that I did do my eyebrows before I started my eyes. I'm sorry, I can't remember if I did mention it, but I just used the Benefit Mighty Fine Brow Pen and defined a little bit with a Diorshow brow styler. I'm going to quickly curl the lashes. I'm using a rougher lash curler. Gucci mascara, so good. Start lifting and volumizing those lashes. This mascara is so good. It's so good. We have not powdered Tarte Creaseless Powder. Love this, love it. I am just going to powder under my eyes, which I totally forgot to do, but it's okay if you do it at this step. Just setting under the eyes and along my T-zone. Just gonna add a touch of mascara on my lower lash line. Line my lower waterline with the Victoria Beckham liner in Cocoa. I love this shade of brown. I feel like I want a little bit more blush, just a little bit. I'm going to take the YSL Make Me Blush Powder blush in Rose Haze. Tap a little bit just to boost that blushiness. A little bit on my nose too. Just a boop. I also want to add a little bit of highlight, and I'm going to take the Dior highlighter quad, and I was going to stick to the pink, but I think I'm going to swirl. I'm going to do the swirls and just grab whatever I grab with a fan brush. That looks so pretty and subtle, and I love this highlighter. It's so pretty. I'm going to add a little bit right here. Cannot forget, if you want a candle lit face, you must finish off with the Hourglass Trio. I just grab them all with a big fluffy brush, put it all over, and it gives you the most beautiful glow. Brings everything together. I don't know what it is about these powders that's magical, okay? I love them. It's the perfect finishing touch. Okay, let's move on to lippies. Anastasia Beverly Hills lip liner in Mocha. Get that on there. I'm going to overline just a tad, just a little bit. Rouge Dior in 265. This is a matte lipstick. Tap it on. Give us a little pink lip. Sweetens everything up. It's the perfect pink. I don't want a matte lip, but this is very long lasting. Okay, I do want to add a little bit of gloss. Anastasia Beverly Hills in soft pink. Get that gloss on there. What a perfect pair. I'm not going to put the gloss all over, but I'm not going to just leave it right in the center. I'm going to take it, you know, most of the way, but not all of the way. Hourglass Veil Setting Spray. This feels so good. And here is our final look. This was mostly a chatty get ready with me, but I really hope that this gives you a little bit of inspo for a date night look or Valentine's Day that is coming up. I won't be participating in Valentine's Day, but that's okay because I know a lot of people love this holiday. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please do consider subscribing to my channel. If you have not already, follow me on Instagram, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.